Well, good morning. It's middle of the week. It's hump day, like they say it over across the pond over in America. But I'm working and I have W member who has been mentioned on Soundwave for next year. They've already been on Soundwave in 2014, but they're back on 2016. And I have John here. Good morning, John, and how are you?
I'm very good, mate. Thanks for having me on board.
No worries, man. And I just want to ask, man, you guys decided to go back on the Soundwave again after a 2-year touring around the world, so to speak?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, of course. We're super excited about it. You know, it's going to be awesome, no doubt. And the very first tour that we did with Devil was Soundwave last year. And, at that time, we didn't even have the first record out yet. I think there was only one demo song had been released at that point. So, that was super cool, and we had a great time. But now we get to come back 2 albums later, and I guess the profile of the band is fairly drastically different now, and, people are aware of us and know the music, so it's going to be a blast, mate. We can't wait for it.
And just going on from Soundwave, do you think, in hindsight, I'm just speaking to you directly here, not as a member of any band, just as a fan in general, do you think Soundwave should expose more Australian talent on the bill?
I would say yes, just purely from the perspective that I think there's so many underrated Australian bands, and there's so few festivals in Australia. It's just such a great opportunity. But also, I guess when you're running a festival and something at that huge level like that, and you've got all these massive international acts, it's just a hard balance. I guess I'm sure it's certainly not through lack of the organisers wanting the Australian bands. I guess it's just a matter of trying to have X amount of bands in a fairly short amount of time.
Yep.
But the Australian bands, man, they're world class, that's for sure. So it would be great to see all of them on there, all the main Australian touring bands would, they all deserve it, no doubt.
Yeah. And, I'm just trying to say they got to cross some more T's and cross some more I's, but that's just me being a fan. I don't promote or don't do anything, but that's just me in general. But for those fans that don't know a bit about WNO, let's give the fans a little bit of a history lesson, shall we? You guys basically started way back in 2012 you and another person was in a room just jamming along. You had about 30, 40 songs just jamming around, and that minute you guys decided that you needed a vocalist to join. Just go a bit into that for the fans who don't know a little bit about WNO.
Well, I've been living in Los Angeles for like 13 years or so now, and I moved over there obviously to do the music thing, and I've been doing Devolved there over the years, which was a band I started here in Australia. And just through doing Devolved there and other musical projects, I got to be good mates with the guitarist in WNO now, Francesco. And, he and I just got to know each other from doing the local LA circuit over the years. So we decided, let's just get together, do something on the side, just super fun, something really different. That was it. There was no intention whatsoever. It wasn't intended to be a new band or, some big thing that we were going to focus all our time on. We wrote so many songs, and I guess we did start to put a lot of time into it, that at some point we were like, this is some pretty cool stuff. We'd like to hear some vocals on it. And just through mutual friends, and once again through the industry, I started talking to Howard. And at first, it really wasn't about even doing music together. We just started chatting, and more just became mates. And then he said, you know what, I'm going to jump in a plane, man. I'll come out to LA, hang with you, and let's throw some vocals over some of these songs, and just see what we think. And we did that.
Yeah, and it wasn't long after that you basically started recording with ex-Machine Head guitarist Logan, and then you announced in October of 2013 that you signed up with Nuclear Blast as well.
Yeah. Yeah, once Howard came out and we did those demos, then things kind of went crazy. I mean, because industry people, label people, management as such, they all got wind of, hey, these guys are doing something, what's going on? And before we knew it, everyone wanted to be involved. We were signing record deals. We were going to do a record, all this stuff, which was cool. We certainly weren't complaining, but it wasn't the plan. It was never really meant to be that. It was just us dudes hanging out, writing some music and just kind of having fun with it, doing something different, to our respective bands at the time. And of course, Jonesy wasn't doing any music then. He was just kind of having a time out and relaxing, chilling out, getting away from it all. So all of a sudden, we were thrown into it, and then we came out here for that Soundwave, and man, we just haven't stopped since. We've done the second album, and we're about ready to go again.
Yes, and before we get into the album, I do want to say, in between all this madness as well, back in April and June 2014, that was last year, you took part in the Rover Golden Gods tour with Black Label Society down in Butcher Babes. How was that for you guys, just to smash it out of the ballpark?
Oh, dude, that was great. It was such a fun tour. That was really awesome. I think that was maybe the second tour that we did. I think we did some US stuff, just some one-offs ourselves, and then we jumped on that tour, and we did the whole of America on that run. And just from the point of view of, growing up listening to, to bands like Pantera and Ozzy, and, being fans of Down, and, all the stuff that Zach's done with Black Label and everything. Just to hang out with Phil and Zach every day and, be a part of those huge shows was, it was super cool, man. It was kind of a novelty, It was just a really fun tour, and we were super stoked to be asked to be a part of it,
Yeah. Well, in November 6th, you got a new album coming out, They Bleed Red. It's going to be a crackerjack of an album. Thanks to Nuclear Blast for sending me over the promo. I've got to say, John, it's an absolutely standing album from top to bottom. But I do want to say that a single that's been released called Stay Off Execution, man. What a song that is, man. It's very, very raw, very aggressive as well, and very, very well directed as well. From the start of the first guitar riff to the last beat, well directed in my books.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. That was actually the last track that we did for the album, and I particularly wanted to have another, I guess, faster up-tempo song, and just something a little different as far as structure as well. So I basically went back through a couple of the demos that we had kind of shelved and put aside, and just pulled them apart and repieced a few of the songs into one, and that was basically what became Stay of Execution. And I guess, when it came time to choose a song for people to hear first from this record, overall it's definitely a heavier album. Anyone who's heard it has said that.
Yeah.
So we wanted something to signify that, I guess, and that's certainly one of my favourite songs on the record. And I'm glad that we put out a really heavy, really fast song first, because the response has been super positive, like really, really awesome. And I think it's a good indication of kind of the direction that this album has crept into, as opposed to the first record. So it's a fun song, man. I can't wait to play that one live.
And a question, being a drummer myself, and you're a drummer as well, how did you maintain the execution style that you were known for when the first album came out. You had to change anything leading into this album for you, like as a timing thing, or a bit heavier, a bit faster? But
No,
yeah, go on.
not really, man. You know, to be honest, mate, the last thing I think about really is the drums. I'm more about, I enjoy arranging the songs and putting just really good songs together, with good dynamics and diversity. I guess we certainly have that balance of the heavier parts, and then there's the more melodic parts. I mean, Howard is very much known vocally for that, so it's good to be able to write music where we can cover kind of both ends of the spectrum, so it gives us a lot of room to move when we're writing stuff. But for me, I really don't think about the drumming a whole lot. It's more, once the basic ideas are there for the songs, then I kind of get in and sit at the drums and see which parts I need to kind of kick back on and let vocals and guitars do their thing. And then when there's the room there for me to, kind of go a little crazy, then, it's just about finding the right spots, I guess, to show what you can do and, just lend, just lend what I'm playing more to the songs themselves. That's the most important part.
Yeah. Well, just a fan question, a general that came to me. How long did this album take together to get the product basically planned out for you guys, and now that you've got the album released on November, how long did this process take for you guys?
Actually, it was pretty quick. Like towards the end of last year, we had a bit of downtime there from touring, so rather than take a break and everyone just kind of go their separate ways and get away from it for a while, Francesco and I decided, okay, well, let's just start writing again, and that way, when it comes time to do the next record, we'll kind of be ahead of it. We'll have a bunch of material already there. And as we started writing, everything was just coming together so quickly that we spoke to the label and said, look, rather than book a bunch of stuff, completely book us up for the next year, give us some time there, because we can get in and knock out this new album. And then once we get back on the road, we'll have 2 albums worth of material to promote. And we started sending them the demos, and they heard it, and they were like, yep, right on, no worries, go for it, do it. So we didn't have any deadlines. I guess everything just naturally came together so quickly that it was easy for us just to jump in and get it done before we hit the road again.
Yeah.
So, we started writing it at the very end of last year. And, we finished the record, I think we got out of the studio maybe a month or so, 6 weeks or more ago now. So the whole process really wasn't that long. It was fairly smooth.
And it's just so great to hear that, because a lot of bands, they like to put their own little overdubbing here, a little bit of a tweak there, and it'll take months and months to do it. But some bands will just go in, plug the guitar in the Marshall, and there's 12 songs already recorded in a pattern just straight off the bat. And it depends on how much money they have and how much time they've got up their sleeve, I suppose. But as saying that...
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
We would get to the studio in the mornings and leave there, later at night. So when we were in recording mode in the studio, it was intensive. We spent a lot of time in there. But in the scheme of things, just from actually beginning the writing process to actually finishing the record, it was, it was certainly pretty quick this time around. Yeah.
Well, saying that, personally for you, how do you think the music business maturing nowadays? I know it's a lot harder for bands who start out now to make a quid and that and need a 9-to-5 job on the side, but how important for you guys to stay relevant in the music business today?
Well, touring is where you make your living. I mean, if you want to play music but you don't enjoy touring or you don't want to tour, then it is not for you. More so these days than ever, because with the whole internet thing and album sales not being what they used to and all that stuff, you have to be out playing live. You absolutely have to. So, that's first and foremost. Obviously, to stay relevant, once again, I don't think that's ever changed. You have to be out playing in front of people. You've got to travel, you've got to go as far and wide as you can to reach new people, new audiences, and thank God with all the changes on the internet, the one thing that you can never replace is physically going to a show and watching a band. So I love touring, man. I love playing live. So for me, that's the reward.
Yeah.
To do that. So
and
it's a good thing.
And it's also like a church for you guys. As soon as you hit that stage, you just want to rock it out and then leave nothing unturned. You want to leave it on the stage and do it again at the next gig. And that's the way I always do it when I'm on that drums. I just want to leave it all, nothing left unturned. I want to just smash it out the ballpark, and at least I know I enjoyed it. If I see 3 or 4 down the front enjoying it, well, I've done my job. But I would like a little bit more than 3 or 4. But hey, I'm only a small man at the moment. So.
I hear you, man. Like I say, that's the reward for me. I like being in the studio. I like writing the music. I love all that more creative behind the scenes part of it as well. But there's nothing like getting up there and sweating it out and playing a show to a room full of people.
Yeah.
That's the greatest thing. That's why I play music.
Before we wrap it up, is there any major plans after Soundwave, like to do a headlining tour as such, even if it is Australia or overseas? So what's the plan for WNO after Soundwave?
Well, I think from what I've heard, there's going to be some US stuff and some more Europe stuff. Because we head over to Europe shortly. We're over there with Five Finger Death Punch and Papa Roach.
Yep.
So next year, we'll certainly be hitting that again. We'll probably do all the summer festivals over there. But, I would hope, we have already discussed that, the band wants to come over to Australia and, do our own thing over here, do a more extensive tour where we can hit different markets and spend some more time here, playing to some more people who may not get to the Soundwave shows. So, we'll just see what happens, man. There's nothing set in stone, and, we're always the last to find out. It's other people's jobs to book that and make that happen. We just got to be ready to roll and, jump on the plane or the bus, whatever it may be, to get there and just do our thing.
And you got to...
hopefully.
And also you got to teach some of the members some of our sport as well, like cricket and AFL and rugby and all that. So.
Oh, man, I tell you, when we were out here for Soundwave last time, I was rooming with Jonesy, and I was trying to teach him about the football and the cricket, and he just had no hope, mate. Completely lost. So I don't know whether I'd try again, but I love it, man. I'm a sucker for it. If I've got any time out, I'll sit there in front of the TV and watch some cricket or footy any day. I love it, mate.
And just before we let you go, who are you tipping for this weekend in the AFL Grand Final? The Hawkers or the Eagles?
Oh, come on, dude. I'm from Queensland, mate. I don't follow that. I'm all rugby league and the Cowboys. North Queensland Cowboys for the win, mate.
I'm a Bulldog supporter in the NRL. I'm tipping the Cowboys too, because Jonathan Thurston used to play for the Bulldogs before he went up there. So
there you go. Yeah, well, I shouldn't even admit to this, but I'm a Parramatta Eels man. But it's not good for me, mate. So anyway, we've got no hope. So I'll take the Cowboys.
Next year, man. Next year. Anyway, man, we better let you go. Anyway, they bleed red.
You know how many years I've been saying that for? Even living in America, I still keep up with it and, look at all the scores and the games on the computer. And, it's pretty heartbreaking, mate. But anyway, I guess at some stage they might turn it around.
Yeah, they will. Just hope they don't rort the salary cap like the Bulldogs did back in 2003. So it's all good.
Exactly.
But anyway, They Bleed Red is released on November 6th by Nuclear Blast. Please, guys, go and grab it at all your independent and record stores around Australia and overseas as well for those listening overseas right now. And John, it's great to talk to you, man, and we cannot wait to see you on the road for Soundwave 2016.
Awesome, mate. My pleasure, man. Thanks for your time.
No worries. Take care, man.
Right, mate. Okay.